Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jackie's Garden Spot. I am Jackie, growing in Zone 8B, Alabama. Today we are inside of the greenhouse for a little bit just to introduce and open up the video because it's windy out today, it's chilly out today, and I hope that you'll be able to hear me when we get outside of the greenhouse. But we're going to go on a garden tour to show you what's growing on in the garden spot. Come along, guys, let's get started. Let's begin in this area first on our garden tour today, and we'll walk around, talk about what's growing on in the garden and our plans for the next steps here at the garden spot. So, as you do remember, in this area or down that row, we do have all of the collards. So they look a tad smaller because what I did was I did come in and harvest some out, the outer leaves that I was telling you about. And as you can see, those middle leaves we did leave in place, and they are regenerating. They are coming back. They are looking like they're going to be full of greens now. But anyway, those are the collards. Then on back here are the Egyptian walking onions, and there are some green onions mixed in here. Now, what I did find out when I looked the other day at these was that we also have some garlic that's coming back from the previous year as well. So I think that we left garlic in here and it's now coming back as well. So if you don't know about Egyptian walking onions normally grow to a certain length. They will then go to seed, and those seeds will get top heavy and they'll fall over, and then they will just reseed themselves and keep giving you onions. And the funny thing that I found out about these Egyptian walking onions at the garden spot is that they also bunch up. So I will have to come in. If you can see that ring, guys, that's the bunching up of the onions. I will come in, separate those out, and replant them in different places and spaces through here to give me more onions. So we have onions and we just keep getting onions. And so that's one way that you can have onions and never have to buy those green onions again, because they will keep regenerating, keep multiplying, keep giving you onions. Okay. And then if you can remember, we had this I think this was called the fish pepper, and they seem to have stunned it because of all of the temperature changes. And so I'm just going to leave it there just to see what happens because it's still blooming. If you can see, they are still blooming. Then we have looked like a volunteer basil plant there that's growing on. I'm going to allow it to do that. We may get a little bit more basil before we have to end the season. So let's move on over. This is the African pepper that I've been patiently trying to wait on. I did plant it late. I think like the last part of July, maybe the beginning of August, but it's just now getting blooms on it. I'm going to just leave it there and see what happens with it as well. Looks like it has some tiny little peppers on there that's trying to come. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Of course, as I told you, this one has medicinal properties to it. If you don't know about the African bird's eye pepper, look that one up. It has medicinal properties to it. I think it wards off cancer or fights against cancer, something to that level. But look it up and see for yourself. And then we added two more blueberry bushes to the garden. That's those two right there. And then the two in the back are just transplants that I moved from the bigger pots back here because we put something else where those bigger pots were at the beginning of the greenhouse. So hopefully we'll get more blueberries this year by adding two more varieties of blueberries. So those are the blueberry bushes, and we put them there. And then we're going to pan over to the left, and we're going to come to that comfrey plant. And looks like that comfrey plant has doubled in size since we planted it out, transplanted that one out. It's doing well. I did harvest some from it to give us some comfrey salve. So I'm making that. And then we came in and added some straw for extra moisture. And hopefully you can hear me today because we have a weird weather day going on today. We have rain, we have wind, we have a lot going on here. So hopefully you can hear me past all of that wind as well. And then in here, if you can remember, we had our sweet peas. They don't look so hot. I thought that they would have grown up more so by now, but they're not. But we'll see what we get from that. And I do come in and try to keep it wrapped around that pole. I don't know if that's working or not, but I'm trying. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that as well. Now we're at the next row beside the collards. So we have turnips that we just transplanted out from our seedling table because we did harvest quite a few turnips this past week to put in the freezer. And then we still have our cayenne pepper right there. We haven't moved that. We'll see what happens with that pepper because, as you do know, the first frost, normally those peppers do go away. So we'll see what happens with that. We're just going to keep these peppers until they're not peppering anymore. So that's that. And then this row is empty now. We will come in and put out some more turnip transplants there. We have some here that's coming along just well. They look good, look very good. And then we have this one that I was iffy about, but it seems to be coming along now. And then we have another volunteer basil right here, guys. I don't know. I think I must have dropped seeds or something, but these volunteer basil plants are popping up now everywhere this fall. And then on this row, we have some more turnip greens. I think these are the Georgia turnips, and I think the first row was called the Southern turnips. And then we have some Alabama, I mean collards. I'm sorry, I'm saying turnips, and I'm meaning collards. We have some Alabama blue collards on the seedling table that I will need to plant out as well. But these are, I think, the Georgia collards here. So that's this row right here, and they are looking well. A little bud pressure here and there, but they seem to be doing well. We have been harvesting those, as you can see, those little cut buds there, cut limbs there. So they're still coming along and regenerating as well. And then we have our bell peppers. They seem to still be doing well. I thought that they would have maybe stunted and I would have pulled them up, but they're still coming along. And this one has dropped all to the ground, but it's still doing beautiful. I may need to come back in sometime later today and stake those up, but that's two of those together right there. And as you can see, they are full of peppers. So we're going to leave that and see what happens. This row, we have some more turnips on. Those are ready to pull. Look at that root system, guys. So those are ready to pull for harvesting. These are ready. I think this one is ready as well. And then this is a broccoli, I think, right there that I have. I'm not sure. I have to look at the tag and see. And then in here, we have another cayenne pepper. And as you can see, blooms are in there as well as peppers. So again, we're going to leave that and see what happens. We are in the 50s today here in Alabama, and I think next week we are targeted to get up into the 70s, but I think this fall weather is coming on in with us. And so that is also a broccoli right there, guys. Then we have another bell pepper plant. It is kind of shadowing out the shishito right there, but the shishitos are still full of shishito peppers, and some of them are turning red, which means that they're ready for harvesting as well again. And then we have our Anaheim. It's full of Anaheim peppers. It's weighing down or weighted down. But yeah, so our peppers are still looking good, doing beautiful, and we're just going to leave them until that first frost when they start to change over, and then we'll pull them out, and then we'll be probably replacing them with whatever's on the row with them. If it's broccoli, if it's collards, if it's turnips, then we'll just put in some more transplants to fill in those rows. And then this is our broccoli row. And look at all of that greenery. Look at that. And so I haven't seen anything in the center of them yet, but I am still hopeful. They are still looking healthy. So I'm not too worried about that. I think that they will come. It's just that we need to be patient and wait. And then this row was cauliflower. And look at all of the cauliflower on that row. So everything is coming along beautifully. I think with the hard wind, it came in and knocked that one over in there. So I will come in and I probably need to stake that one up. I'm sure that I need to stake that one up so that we're not losing any cauliflower. So I will come in today and stake that up. And then on this row, this was a mixture of cauliflower and looks like that's not a cauliflower. That looks like a big turnip right there that needs harvesting. And then we have some Brussels sprouts on down. As you can see, this one is puny, but it's still alive. It looks like it's undergone some bug pressure there, but I think it'll be fine. And then we have some more Brussels sprouts in here that were transplanted out and they still looking healthy. This one has come a long way. It's leaps and bounds over the other one. And so this high wind is doing a number two on us today. But we'll see, guys. We will see what happens here. And I will need to come in. That's a broccoli. And looks like it's laid over from the strong winds. But I will come in and stake this one up and hopefully get it stabilized there. And then on this row, we have mustards. I transplanted these out the other day and they're doing well. It looks like that rain came through and it gave it new life too, because they look a little puny when you first set them out, but then it's nothing like God's water that comes in and wakes up everything, right? So they are looking much better. I'm so happy to see that. And then I have two back here that are called the red mustard. So I'm getting back there to show you those. Look at those. So those are going to be beauties when they do come on out. See that reddish color on them? Beautiful. And then this row right here, this is all rutabaga. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this rutabaga. This is my first time growing that. And so I'm anxious to see that. And then, oh guys, it looks like I don't even know what I'm planning out half the time. Look, this is a row of the Alabama blue collards right here. So we'll see. We'll wait and see what happens with that row. They all look healthy. They all look very healthy. I am so proud of that. Look at that. Yeah. So they're looking well. And then remember these growing bags here. So I did come in once we got all of the sweet potatoes out of the way, and we dealt with that. Then I did come in and put in some of the Long Island Brussels sprouts here. They're doing wonderful. I didn't put but three in because I wanted to give them room to spread out and grow and give them that growing room. And then in this growing bag, we put in the twister cauliflower. So they seem to be on their way. See that? So yeah, I did give them their growing space as well. And then in here, it looks like potatoes coming in because I didn't plant anything in this bag, but looks like something has volunteered itself and it's coming up. We'll see. I'm just gonna leave it there, give it its nutrients, and see what happens with that one. We're at the melon spot now, and where do I begin to tell you about these melons? I don't know. All I can tell you is that look, they're still coming in. They're still trying to grow. I'm just going to leave them. I don't know what we're going to end up with, whether we'll get a harvest of melons to eat or whether this is just a failed experiment. I don't know. But I'm anxious to see what happens here, guys. I'm anxious, very anxious to see if these melons are going to even be sweet or edible because we've had such a fluctuation of weather here. Look at that one. They're getting bigger. So I thought that my mindset was to come in, pull it up, and then to plan out the rest of the seedling table. But then I came out, I looked, and I was like, wow, they're still growing. So maybe I better leave them alone just to see what happens. Look at that one. Just to see what happens here because they're still giving off melons. They're still giving off melons. I don't know. Even the collective form of melon that I thought that we were finished with, look at that. Still melons, still melons. Although the leaves are dying back, we still have melons here and there. So we'll see about these melons as well. We're still looking. And so I don't know. We'll harvest those together as well, I guess. And of course, we're still monitoring this roselle. Look at that. Roselle is still coming in. So we're still looking at roselle, still trying to see if we're going to get a good harvest of it. I think that we are because it looks very good from looking here. It looks good. We'll see, guys. We have some blooms that are opening up there. We have blooms here. So we have a lot of blooms going on. And we'll see. It looks like we are going to be able to have a harvest of roselle. Then over here we have our comfrey that I did come in and harvest some of that also last week. And then we have our lettuce that's coming back beautifully, guys. Coming back beautifully. That's ready for harvesting. Look at that. And then I think this is, I'm not sure. I want to say this is a dahlia. I won't know until it blooms out, but something is there. The strawberries are looking good. And look at all of these carrots. So I am going to harvest some of those. I'm going to pull up one or two and see what we have underneath. And then look at the calendula. Very pretty. Look at that. Very pretty calendula. So let's see if we can harvest a couple of these carrots just to see what we have. Let's see about this one. Hopefully you can see me harvesting this. I'm trying to work with one hand, so bear with me here. Oh, I ended up getting two nice ones. Very good. See that? So I'm going to put this here. So we need one more for a snack today, and that's going to do it. Let me see if I can get one here. Pulling. Oh, that's hard. Oh, gosh. Let's see. I'm trying, guys. I got it. Oh, it was a big one. Let me show you. See that? So we have one. We have two. I thought I had another one. Did I? Oh, three. We have three carrots for today, for today's snack. This is our moringa tree. I don't know how long it's going to last, but however, I did want to show you what we have harvested. We have been making moringa shakes, milkshakes, and then we have also been making moringa salve. So if you don't know about moringa, that's another homework assignment. Do your research on that one as well. It is a superpower food. And then I came in and I turned over our seedling trays because it was raining so much here and they were getting soaked, but our seedlings are still looking very good. Very good considering. So we have Brussels sprouts, we have the seven top turnips here, we have some bachelor's button there. I don't know what that is, but I think it's nothing because I think it submerged too long in the water from the rain. We had this was a mustard that I think it got too soaked. And this is these are turnips. These are turnips in here. All of those are turnips. All of these are turnips. So the turnips are looking well. And then we have rutabaga all through here. No, this is not rutabaga through here. This is cauliflower through here. So it's looking very good. See that? And then this is rutabaga. So the rutabaga is ready to plant out as well as the cauliflower. I was thinking that I was ready to plant that out where those melons are, but those melons are telling me, no, 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 we're not done yet. So we'll see what happens with those melons because I'm very anxious to get all of this planted out into the bigger garden as well. And then I finally took the time and put up the green stalks, guys. These are the two green stalks that I ordered, not at the same time, but at separate times. Um, One time they had a sale going on this past summer. I ordered the one on the left, and then they had the warehouse sale recently and ordered the one on the right. So I got a chance to take the time to put them up. We also got the spin base to them. And so they are up. I am planting in them. They are not completely planted in. I will finish up hopefully this week, maybe, depending on the weather. But I want to go through and show you what we planted in so far with them. Okay, so in this one, we have the onion up there. And oh, let me show you the lid. I love the lid on this. So it has a very nice lid. And this one, this color is called the blueberry. But anyway, so we planted in onion up here. This is the red onion. And then I mixed in the Elisa Craig onion in here. So in this, that top portion is onion. On the second level, I put in spinach, and then I direct sowed some beets there. So I'm waiting on those to come up. And I will come back in and put some straw there for insulation, to kind of more keep the area moist while everything is growing. And on this fourth row, I put in the rutabaga from the seed table, and I left this area blank. I am coming in and put something there. And then on the bottom level, I have nothing in that yet. And so the second planter, it mimics exactly the first planter, except there's a different type of onion up top because we have the red globe onion up top of here. And then we also have the Texas Grande onion up here. And then we have one nasturtium down there. So that's the only difference between the two planters. Okay. Everything else is identical. And then, so I don't know what I'm putting at the bottom row yet. I may put some seven top turnips there. I don't know, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, so those are the planters. So those are the green stock planters. I have been leaving that lid on top. I don't know if you can see that, but I have been leaving the lid open instead of closed since it's been raining so that it can get the good rainwater in there. And then, so let me show you the base. So with the base part of this, there's a clear spout that they give you to insert into the base to allow the water, once it's filled, to allow that water to drain out so that the seedlings aren't soaking in water, so that your plants aren't soaking in water. It can at least drain out. So my thought process was to aim it, the spout, back this way where it's pointed back to this side of the garden, because I'm thinking that once I fertilize it from the top and all of the fertilizer runs out, the extra, then it's trickling back into the garden to give it nutrients, and those nutrients aren't wasted out. That fertilizer isn't wasted out. So that was my thought process there. I don't know if that was good or bad, but I think that it's smart. What do you think? Tell me about your planners if you have one. And then on that second one, as you can see, this one is flowing this way and it's going that way. So normally against here, I normally put either sweet peas during the fall, or either I will put cucumbers during the summer. So my thought process is that those nutrients can spill out from there and go there to give those that fertilizer to those, to give them the nutrients that they need to thrive and survive. What I'm doing now is just coming in and putting in a little insulation to seal in the moisture with some of the straw, the premium processed straw, where these rutabagas are. So that's all I'm doing right now. And I'm not putting in a very thick layer, just enough to insulate. See that, guys? Just enough to insulate in here. And I'm going to move over to the other one and do that one. I think that looks good. And I'm also going to move up and insulate in the onions, because I had not had an opportunity to insulate those in, because onions need some moisture as well. Or should I say, they should retain moisture in order to give that bulb the nourishment it needs to continue to grow. And I'm a bit height challenged. I'm standing on a little stepper right now. So I will come back in and show you how this one looks insulated in as well. And again, I'm not putting a very thick layer, it's just a little thin layer in here, just for insulation. Let me see if I can bring you over so that you can see that. See that, guys? Very pretty. Very neat. And I'm also going to insulate this side. This is the other green stalk. I'm just insulating this side as well, because both of these sides mimic each other. And this wind is blowing, so until I hope that I'm putting it in there and it's staying. Okay, so that should do that. So Do you have a green stalk? And if so, tell me what you're growing in your green stalk for the fall or the winter months. Or if you are growing in your green stalks during the fall and winter. A lot of people put them up and they wait until the spring and summer and grow in their green stalks then. So this is a problem that I have to watch out for. See how I close that lid on the onion? I have to watch out for that. But I put the onions up top to give that bulb enough room to grow and to give these onion stalks enough room to grow up and out as well. I didn't want to put them in the middle. I wanted to give them enough room. So that was my thought process on that. So that was a short tour. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you found something that you can use in your own garden spot. I do appreciate you taking your time out each and every week to view the videos and view my content. I couldn't do it without you guys. And until the next time, be well and be blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more content from me. Bye, guys.